Have you ever noticed your toddler ignoring you when you call their name or staring at a toy without looking back at you? Most parents dismiss these moments as simple quirks of childhood. But doctors and child development experts warn that, sometimes, they can be subtle early signs of autism, signs that many parents miss during the first years of life. Think of your child's development like building a house. Every small interaction, eye contact, gestures, play, adds a brick to the foundation. When bricks are missing, the structure might still stand, but over time cracks can appear. That's why noticing these small details early can make a huge difference. The tricky part? These signs are not dramatic. They don't look like the big, obvious symptoms we usually associate with autism. Instead, they show up in everyday moments, during playtime, at mealtimes, when your child shares excitement, or when they try to copy you brushing your teeth. Research shows that early recognition and support can improve communication, social connection, and independence for children on the autism spectrum. But here's the good news: spotting these signs doesn't mean your child is broken or doomed. It simply means you have valuable information you can bring to your pediatrician, so you can explore whether extra support might help your child thrive. In this video, we'll walk through 10 subtle but important signs, explained simply, with examples you can observe at home. You'll see what's typical, what might raise questions, and why these details matter for healthy child development. Child development is built on countless small, almost invisible moments. A glance, a smile, a child pointing at a toy and checking if you're watching. These tiny actions are not random, they are the bricks that form the foundation of communication and connection. Experts often compare a young child's brain to a sponge. It absorbs everything, but it needs the right interactions to grow strong and flexible. Autism doesn't take away a child's ability to learn or love. But it does shape the way a child communicates, responds, and connects with others. The challenge for parents is that the earliest signs are rarely dramatic. They can look like ordinary toddler behavior, a child who doesn't respond to their name, or one who prefers to spin the wheels of a toy car instead of rolling it. This is why subtle signs matter. When parents and caregivers learn to recognize them, they gain an opportunity to ask questions early, to seek support, and to give their child the best possible start. Research shows that early recognition and tailored support can significantly improve communication, social engagement, and independence for children on the autism spectrum. But here's an important reminder: noticing one or two signs does not mean your child has autism. Development is a wide spectrum, and children grow at their own pace. The goal is not to diagnose at home but to gather observations that you can share with your pediatrician. Together, you can decide whether further assessment or support is needed. Let's begin with one of the earliest forms of communication: eye contact. From the very first months, babies use their eyes to connect. By around 18 months, eye contact becomes a tool for sharing, requesting, and expressing. Imagine you are playing a simple game with your toddler. You roll a ball toward them, they roll it back, and the fun continues. Now imagine you suddenly stop. In a typical interaction, your child would look at the ball, then look up at you, almost as if to say, "Hey, why did you stop? Let's keep going." That upward glance is not just curiosity. It's communication. When a child doesn't use eye contact in this way, when they only focus on the object and don't look to you for connection, it may signal a difference in how they are engaging socially. Experts highlight that eye contact is more than just looking. It's about using that look to share excitement, express feelings, or ask for help. Parents often notice this in daily routines. A toddler who wants a snack may look at the cupboard, then at you, as if pulling you into the moment with their eyes. When that back and forth is missing, it's worth observing. Gestures are another powerful way children communicate before they master words. Waving, pointing, raising their arms to be picked up, all of these are signs that a child understands how to use their body to share meaning. One important milestone is what experts call joint attention. This happens when your child not only points at something but also looks back at you to make sure you see it too. It's like saying, "Look. Can you see what I see?" This shared attention is a key step toward more complex communication. Parents can test this in small ways. Place your child's favorite toy across the room and ask, "Where's your car?" A typical response is pointing, followed by a quick glance at your face. If the glance doesn't happen, it may mean the child is not yet using gestures to include you in their world. Beyond pointing, toddlers should begin to understand and respond to your gestures as well. If you wave, do they wave back? If you reach your arms out, do they move toward you? These little responses show that communication flows in both directions. Another subtle but important sign is how consistently your child responds when you call their name. Picture this: your toddler is deeply focused on stacking blocks. You call their name gently. Do they pause, look up, or shift their attention toward you? Most toddlers might not respond immediately every time, especially if they are absorbed in play. But after 1 or 2 calls, they typically acknowledge you. If a child consistently does not respond to their name even after you've called several times, it may be a signal worth noting. Of course, hearing must always be checked first. Sometimes, what looks like unresponsiveness is simply an ear infection or another hearing concern. But if hearing is fine and the pattern continues, experts encourage parents to bring this observation to a professional. Responding to name is not just about obedience. It's about connection. It shows that your child recognizes when you are reaching out to them and is able to shift their focus back toward you. Language milestones are another area where subtle differences appear. By 18 months, most children use at least 3 words beyond mama or dada. By 2 years, the vocabulary often grows to 20 to 50 words, and toddlers start combining them into small phrases like more juice or big dog. But language is not only about vocabulary. It's about rhythm and interaction. Many parents describe their toddlers babbling as if they are having a real conversation, complete with tone, pauses, and responses. If your child has fewer words than expected for their age, or if their conversations don't feel interactive, it may point to a delay in communication skills. Again, delays alone don't confirm autism, but they highlight an area where support may be valuable. Parents can encourage language by narrating daily routines. Now we put on your shoes. 1 shoe, 2 shoes. This not only builds vocabulary but also shows your child how words connect to actions. One of the most heartwarming parts of parenting is when your child discovers something fascinating and rushes to show you. A bug in the garden, a new toy, or even a funny sound, toddlers often want to share their excitement. In a typical interaction, the child brings the object to you, holds it up, and looks at your face, waiting for your reaction. This is called sharing enjoyment. It's not about needing help, it's about sharing joy. When a child instead plays alone, or hands you something without looking to see your response, that shared joy may be missing. Experts emphasize that this back-and-forth sharing is a cornerstone of social connection. Many parents notice this difference in everyday life. Some toddlers proudly bring over every toy, eager to see your reaction. Others prefer to keep their discoveries private. Both behaviors are part of the wide spectrum of development, but when sharing is consistently absent, it can be a sign to watch. Play is more than fun, it's practice for real life. Around 18 months to 2 years, children typically begin pretend play. Dolls become babies who need feeding, toy cars make vroom sounds, and a simple block might turn into a phone. This pretend play shows that a child is beginning to understand symbols and imagination. It's a bridge to more complex thinking and storytelling. If play stays very literal, spinning wheels, lining up toys, or repeating the same motion, without imaginative twists, experts consider this a potential sign. Repetitive play itself is not negative, but when it replaces pretend play entirely, it may indicate differences in development. Parents can encourage imagination by joining in. Pretend to feed a teddy bear, then hand it to your child. Do they continue the game, or do they return to repetitive actions? Observing this can give clues about how your child is using play to understand the world. Children learn by copying. By around 2 years, most toddlers become little mirrors, imitating brushing teeth, stirring a pot, or clapping along to songs. This copying is more than cute, it's how children practice essential skills. When copying is absent, a child may watch but not join in. They may see you wave goodbye but keep their hands still. Experts note that imitation is a building block of learning, and reduced imitation can signal challenges in how a child engages with others. Parents can notice this easily in daily life. Does your child try to sweep the floor when you do? Do they clap during songs? Do they mimic brushing their hair when you brush yours? These everyday imitations are signs of active learning and social engagement. Many toddlers experiment with movements, spinning in circles, flapping hands, or walking on tiptoes. These can be part of normal play. The difference is frequency and persistence. Experts call these self-stimulating behaviors or stimmying. They can include flapping, rocking, repeating sounds, or waving fingers in front of the eyes. For children on the autism spectrum, these behaviors may continue daily and become their preferred form of play. Parents often notice these movements during quiet moments. A child may rock back and forth when alone, or flap hands when excited. It's important to remember, these behaviors are not harmful in themselves. They can even serve as a way for children to regulate their emotions. The key is whether they dominate play and limit other forms of interaction. Hearing about subtle signs of autism can feel overwhelming. Many parents begin replaying every moment, asking, "Did I miss something?" It's important to hold both truth and reassurance at the same time. Truth, early signs matter, and paying attention can open doors to helpful support. Reassurance, every child develops at their own pace, and quirks don't equal a diagnosis. Many behaviors that look unusual are simply temporary phases. Professionals recommend keeping notes. If you notice a pattern, not just a single day, share these observations with your pediatrician. This turns vague worry into concrete information that can guide next steps. Parenting is full of uncertainty. Every parent wonders, is this normal? The truth is, development is broad, and no child follows the exact same timeline. Still, being aware of subtle signs of autism gives you an advantage. You know what to look for, what to support, and when to ask questions. Remember, noticing a sign is not the same as labeling your child. It's about gathering clues, building awareness, and partnering with professionals when needed. Your child's journey is unique. With love, attention, and the right support, they can thrive. So, if you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more parenting wisdom. Together, we'll explore child development, health, and everyday parenting tips, because you are not alone on this journey.